Welcome to the Country Scroller. Today's video we're going to be making this nice little candle segmentation. For today's episode of this candle segmentation, we're going to be achieving the colors by painting it instead of using the natural wood color, and that is called intarsia. So we're going to be cutting out each piece of it and painting it. So I hope you'll enjoy this video. Let's go over to the workbench and start making it. Alright, to make this candle today, I'm going to be making it a tad bit different than this. If you noticed over here, it has a hole. And at first I thought that was going to be like a handle or something, but in the actual pattern it says a clock insert's supposed to go there, so I don't know if he just didn't realize or just wanted to cut the hole anyways, but I'm not going to be adding in this little handle thing on mine. I'm just going to have the actual candle down to the leaves and then this base here, so it's not going to have this. So I'll show you the pattern and then the wood we're going to use, and I'll be right back with you. This is the pattern I have. It's copied from the one that my grandpa had. That way I didn't have to use an original. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and spray adhesive it all to the one piece of wood, because I'm going to be painting the colors for the actual intarsia part instead of using a green and yellow wood and stuff like that. So it gets the colors that way. The wood I'm going to use is just a regular old pine or whatever you have. That's not too fancy because it's going to be painted anyway, so it doesn't have to have a fancy grain to it or nothing like that. This is just a piece I actually recycled from an old shelf, and I had to sand off the finish it already had on it. That way it'd accept the paint and all that easier when it's done. But I'll just go ahead and apply the pattern onto here, and then I will be right back with you. Alright, I got our pattern on the wood. I had to do some minor adjustments to it. At the bottom here, it didn't have the complete pattern, as I realized when I was taping it on. It must have gotten cut off on the actual real copy that my grandpa had. So I had to just add in that darker line there for the bottom of it, and continue on the leaf there, because if you see on the actual one, the leaf goes below the stand on the right side there. And by the way, he is missing the berries that are in the middle there, so those must have fallen out a while back. And by the way, this was made in 1998, right before Christmas then, and it's pretty cool. Not all of his projects I have seen have his signed on it, but it says it's number 24, and I guess that's the 24th project that he has made. So I thought that was pretty cool to show you guys when it was made in 1998. It's not too long ago, but it was more towards the end of when he was getting ready to get in bad health and all that, and stopped his scrolling. But that was a nice thing to see there, the date of it. So what I'll do is there is no entry holes needed, because you can just start from one side and just start cutting in. And as far as these lines and stuff go throughout here, I figure I can just burn the mark in there, and that will create the divot in the wood, because just doing the cutting, drilling a hole and bringing it down like that, if you use a small drill bit and a thick blade, you can match it, but I'm just going to burn those in there. So we can go over to the scroll saw now and start cutting this out. Alright, we're over here at the scroll saw, and again, this needs no entry holes for this, because we can just start by cutting it from any open point on it, and then continue cutting like a puzzle. And I just want to stay on the line, but since this isn't intarsia, you don't have to worry about matching up everything precisely, because it'll all be put back together because it's cut out of the same piece. So it's not as difficult as intarsia, but still staying on the line. I have a number 7 blade chucked up in the scroll saw because this is 3/4 inch wood, so we can go ahead and get started. and you might just want to keep track of the pieces and put them off to the side on the workbench and put them all back together on the workbench and not have them all scattered out. That way you know the way it's supposed to go and all that. That way you don't get confused. We can go on for our next cut now. We're back from the Squirrel Soul. Sorry you didn't get to see the whole thing, but it just continued on cutting, so nothing real exciting about it. And I've cut the whole projects in the past, so no need to go over the whole darn process of it. So this is what it looks like. I just set it back together, and I will cut the stand like that after it's all glued up together, because it'll just be out of a random piece of 3/4 pine, and I'll put a decorative edge on it and whatnot. So now what we can do is take off the pattern, but I'll keep the pattern just so I can mark where those lines are and all that to do the burning in it and whatnot. Then we'll do some nice sanding, paint it, and then put it back together. So that's the upcoming steps to this project. So I will go ahead and peel off the pattern and start doing the burning. I already have the pattern peeled off here, and I kept that to see where the lines are to burn in the marks on it, but I've decided not to do that to save some time with this project, and I'm going to just go ahead and do the sanding to round over the edges like this on my grandpa's one. It gives it the 3D intarsia look, where you just round over all the edges and before you glue it back together. And by the way, he is missing some of those berries in there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that instead of worry about doing the burning and all that. And I'll be using this Dremel tool with the smaller sanding drum on the end to round off the edges of this to give it the 3D look on it. So I will go ahead and do all that, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, I'm done with the dremeling. I don't know how well you can see that I actually did get the all the edges rounded over good enough. The berries in the center are a little hard to do because they were you had to make them the exact shape for it all to fit back together right. So actually what I'm going to do next is the painting part, of course, but first I'm going to glue all those berries together and paint them all, since they'll all be one color anyways, and that way they all stay together. So I'll show you what I'm going to be doing there. So with the berries, I know how everything else practically fits together, so I'm going to piece away the rest of the thing and keep all the berries into one little area here, like that, and I will glue them in that area with some super glue. That way it just fits together and they don't come apart. So I'll use some of the super glue and put them on the edges of it to get them to stay together. Alright, so I just finished gluing them together, and they all stay in a bunch like that, so they don't fall apart on me, so it's easier to just glue it all back together like that. So the next step in this whole process is to, we'll back it out here, is to paint the pieces, and I will just be doing the same colors as the original one that my grandpa made. So the flame will be orange, the candle part with the wax dripping down will be yellow, these pieces will just be the natural wood color, the berries will be red, The leaves will be green, and then the rest of the actual candle part is going to be the green color. So I'll just go ahead and paint the pieces, and then after you do that, I'll wait for them to dry, and then we'll glue them all together. Alright, here it is so far. I have placed all the pieces back together after being painted. And I'm going to do a couple more things differently than the original one that my grandpa had. That looks like this. One of the things I've already done different is, of course, it doesn't have this handle, or the pattern says a clock movement's supposed to actually go on there. I don't know if he had one in there. Another thing I'm going to do differently is I'm not going to have it stand up, so it won't have it stand. I'm actually going to have it hang up by just drawing a hole in the back of it on the flame there. So a couple more things that'll be different with it. So what I'm going to do, like any intarsia that you would do in any project, I'm going to put this on top of I'm going to put this on top of a piece of 1/16 or 1/8 inch piece of plywood, Baltic birch, and trace around it, and then cut just to the inside of the line to have this glue on top of that, because if I just hang it up on the wall, then I want it to be all glued together like that, instead of like what he had, it all just shown on the back there. And to me that just looks a little bit not good, especially because he has it standing up and you see all that crap on the back of it. But this is just a couple things I'm going to improve that will be on mine. So I'll go ahead and this isn't glued. I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece to set it on top of, and then we'll go over the glue up process, and I'll just be using some Aleene's clear gel tacky glue for that. So I'll do a couple more things, and I'll be right back with you to finish it up. Alright, well here's the little thing that I attempted to make to use as a sort of guide or backing for the piece of segmentation or intarsia here. But first of all, I'm going to just glue it together, like on the sides of it, like my grandpa did. And then for more stability, I will put it on top of this and then glue it onto that. So I'm just going to brush it on the sides there, and just break it away and put it on and put it back together in this orientation. And I'll be right back with you after I do all that and glue it up to the backer there, because it's a tad bit of a hassle and I don't think I can get it all on camera for you. So I'll do that and I'll be right back with you. Alright, at this point I have everything all glued up and it's all dry. I went ahead on the back side and I did do that piece of flat thing just to keep it all aligned. I drilled a hole for the a nail to hang it up with. I also burned the back of it. So now we are ready to do a clear coat, and this will bring out the grain in the pieces that we didn't paint, and it'll also make the pieces that we did paint shine. So I'm going to use as a Krylon clear acrylic. And I would use something a little bit heavier duty, like a Deft or something that makes it really shine, but it doesn't really dry that good on top of paint that I've worked with, and takes longer. So this stuff dries pretty quick, and just something that'll dry quick so I can get this project done and hang it up. So I'll let that dry, and then I'll do a couple more coats to ensure that it will protect the paint and everything on it. And it's basically done. And there's the final product of the recreation of my grandpa's candle. And that was the video of my grandpa's candle, the recreation I did. And as you saw, there's a couple variations that I mixed within there. It was not exactly like my grandpa's, so I changed it up a little bit. And at the beginning, when I showed you the date on there, he made it the Christmas of 1998. So not too long ago, but that was pretty cool that he had marked it so we were able to see exactly when he had created that project. Hope you enjoyed this video of many more of the tribute projects up to episode 60. And we will see you later. I'm Dustin.
And I'm Dylan.
We'll see you next time on the Country Scroller.